Yo YouTube, today I'll be showing you how to fix this error that's on the screen right now, attempting to render with error material for materials error.vmat. So this error will happen for two main reasons. Either one, because your material or a material in your map doesn't exist, or a material in your map isn't being packed by the workshop uploader. So we'll go through both of these, but first off let's go through a material that might not actually exist. So I've made a little example map here. So I have two missing materials here and also two models in which those materials are applied. So if I go to this one, material slash mat.vmat, this one has missing material sources. So what that means is the material exists, but one of the images that it's referencing doesn't exist. So you can see the color image does not exist. Or you can have a material that doesn't exist at all. So if I try to open this one material editor, nothing will happen because the material doesn't exist. This will usually happen if you've made a material and then deleted the material afterwards and then forgotten about it. This one will happen if you made a material then accidentally delete the content image for it. But it doesn't really matter which way it's happened. You'll have the same result either way, which is the error. So first thing we want to do is we want to load up the map in tools mode, open up your vconsole and type in map_print_error materials. Now there'll be quite a few here. Most of them you can ignore. So anything that's ending with error.vfx you can ignore, and this error.vmat one you can always ignore as well. So if we look at the ones that aren't those, you can see it's mat2.vmat and mat.vmat, which are the ones that we know don't exist. But obviously you might not necessarily know where these are in your map. So I mean, yeah, it's telling you where the error vmat is or what it is, but it's not telling you where it is. Like it could be a little 1x1 square in your map. So to do that, you want to go into Hammer, press F1, type in check map for problems. And if you scroll to the bottom here, you'll see there is two ones here. And if you double click it, it'll take you to where the error is and you can fix that up. Either replace it with another material like this, like this, or just delete them. But you'll notice that I still have these two models here and it doesn't say anything about them, which is not ideal. So the reason for that is because this little window here doesn't show errors on models. It only shows it on meshes. So the way we want to get around that is by going to entity report. So you press map, go to entity report, and then search for prop in the class section down here. You want to Control A on everything. You want to right click, go to selected entities, and then press convert to mesh. Now that these are meshes, as you can see, if I go to check problems, I scroll back to the bottom, there you are. So now we can see that these two models are the error models. So if I undo, so now I know that these two are the models that have issues. I can either give them a material override, and then it'll have a material, or I can just delete them. And that should then fix the issue. So that's the easy one. That's if you just have a missing material, which is usually not the case. Usually it's that the workshop isn't packing a material. So if I go over to my other add-on. Okay, so now I'm in my other add-on, which is for an unpacked material. You can see I have this material here. It's not missing, but it's in an irregular folder. So you'll notice that if I go to the path of it, it's not in the materials folder, it's just in the root of the add-on, which is not good because it means that the workshop won't pack it. So if I go into Hammer and I load this up, the material will be there just fine. Because again, the material does exist, it's just not in the correct folder for the workshop to see it. Yeah, that's, you can see it's right there. But give me a second, we're going to go over to the workshop version and you'll see that it will crash. Okay, so now that I'm in the actual version of the game, not the tools mode, I'm going to load up the map and you'll see that it will crash because the material doesn't exist. Which it obviously did exist, but it doesn't exist in the workshop version. Yeah, there you go, right there. So how do we diagnose this if we don't know what material is the one that's making it crash? So what we want to do is go to our Counter-Strike 2 properties, and over here where it says launch options, you want to type in -con debug. You can put that at the start, at the end, or if it's the only thing you have, that's fine as well. But yeah, so after you add the launch option, what you want to do is start up the game and do the exact same thing. So just launch up the map, let it crash, but this time we have a way to see what's making it crash. So if I load up the map now, it will still crash, it'll still do the exact same thing, but we have another way of seeing it. So yeah, fatal error, that's fine. Just let it crash, let it do its thing. And then once it's done that, you want to go to this folder here. So that's your Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Game, CSGO. And you want to look for a file called console.log. So as you can see, that just got modified at the time that I'm recording right now. So if I scroll to the bottom here, and I search for failed loading resource, and I full screen this. Now let's just go through everything. So here's one. This one will happen every time. If you don't have a map icon, that's fine. There you go. There's one that's missing. So failed loading resource mat.vmat_c. So we can make note of that one. QMap array, that's fine. Radar, that's fine. Map screenshot, radar, that's fine. And now we're just back to where we were before. So we can see that the missing one is mat.vmat_c. And that's because it's not in the materials folder, which is what it needs to be in for it to be packed to the workshop upload. So what we're going to do, so we're going to load up Hammer real quick, and I will show you how to put it into the correct folder. Okay, so now that you're back into your map in Hammer, you want to go down to your active material selection over here in the bottom left, press browse, pull this up. Up here it says 5 out of 5 mods. You want to uncheck all and then just press your add-on here, and this will give you a list of only the add-ons that you have in your map. It won't have any Valve ones, it will only have your custom ones. So you want to find one of the error textures that you had in your console.log file earlier on. So for us it's mat.vmat over here, and you can see the path is in the root folder, so it's just a dot and a slash. That's because it's not in any folder, it's just in the root folder. Ideally that should be in /materials, so we'll fix that now. So you want to right click that, you want to go on asset tools, go to move asset, press yes, press OK, press OK again, go back. Oh yeah, you have to turn off the asset browser, then go back to it. And up here it says destination folder, just make sure that it's in the materials folder. So this is fine, you can just do materials. Personally, I like to split it up a little bit more. So this guy's got a very interesting face, so we'll make a separate folder for him. We'll call it interesting face. So the source is CSGO addons / unpacked material, which is the addon name, but the destination is in unpacked materials interesting face @vmat. Then you just want to press go, and that should be sorted. Now what we want to do next is replace any occurrences of the old VMAT with the new one, because it won't do that for you. So because we have it selected already in the active material, you just want to right click that, press select faces using material. That way you will get everything that's using it. Go to browse. Again, uncheck all the other ones, and you'll see now you have two copies. You have one which is in the root folder, and you have your new one which is in the materials folder. And then if you wanted to give it an extra folder in there, you could have done that as well. But you just select your new one, press Shift and T, and you can see it says apply material to selection, because that's what we just did. And if I unselect it and reselect it, you can see it's now using the new path. And you just want to rinse and repeat that process for each error material that you had in the console.log file. And as long as you do that, and you make sure you replace every single face that has the texture, you should be fine, and the error should be no more. If you do happen to have an error, do leave a comment in the comments below, and I'll try and help you out. But otherwise, you should be good to go.